who can bring out the Zamboni? That is the 5 points the Blues needed on this 4-game stand. Wow, what a night. What a game. Amazing. And then Charlie Lindgren comes in and gets the win. He steals a win from Huso. Wow. Wow, what a night. What a game. What a team.
I mean, we lost 2 players in this one, so it was ugly, but we won it.
Yeah,
and we won the litmus test.
Yes, we did. We took the 5 points that I said we needed. Brandon White says, nice win. I agree, Brandon. Jeff Horseman, damn Russians. Head for the mountains of Buchnevich. He gets the goal. He scored a goal, Buchnevich. He scored a goal. Vladimir, he passed the puck and Buchnevich scored a goal.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, man. I'm very happy.
Says, what a way to get 5 points. And Kyle says, man, what a gutsy win. Concerned about losing pots for 2 more players tonight. I am too, but what do we got? 2 days off or a day off? Get ready for a Butch awkward interview. Here we go.
I want to hear it.
Help us. We'll celebrate our win.
On that overtime goal, as you're coming down the wing, what are you noticing that lets you go around the net rather than shoot the puck?
I don't know. I just see forward in front of me. I just think I can catch that guy, and goalie bites, and I see empty net and got the goal.
Couple of huge games for you guys. Obviously, the story is you're missing quite a few players. Again, Billy Huso leaves the game. Jake Wallman leaves the game. But you guys come up with a huge victory. How big is that for you guys in your locker room?
I think it's always good to win the game, but especially right now, we stuck together, and we keep build from there. Hopefully, win next couple of games at home.
You guys had a big bounce back after the first period. Florida Panthers, a very good hockey club, but you guys came out in the second period and it looked like you turned things around to build the momentum in your favor.
It's again, we have a good meeting after first period and it works. I think we can locker room again and we get a W, so I don't know.
Well, that's a huge victory for you guys. Congratulations. Great goal, Pavel. Thank you so much for joining us here.
No, Aaron, you're right. I'm with you on that. Well, this is where I love to be wrong. Just wow, amazing performance. Mike Dante's Inferno earlier had said, if we win tonight, we can win the cup. And this team, I talked about this. I talked about this before. You've got to go. You got to go forward and win the games that are put in front of you. You have to play to your ability to beat the team in front of you. And tonight, they played to their ability. Right? I don't know if I can do it again. Buchnevich. I shoot the puck and score the goal. Buchnevich. I don't know. I just see he doesn't cover that side net. So I put goalie net, Buchnevich. Oh my goodness. Wow.
Well, if we're down 2 more, we're going to get one because we survived the game that we were down, so we're going to get the emergency player. We'll probably have to send Perunovich down because he's the only one that doesn't have to go through waivers to get either I don't know. Do we go for the backup goalie or do we go for the
you have
forward?
to go for the backup. You have to go for the backup goalie. Mm-hmm. You have to. If Huso's out, you have to.
Would they even let us play that short?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. We're gonna.
So I mean, really, we're gonna have to hope that either Wallman, it was something that was pulled or whatever, and he can come back, and same with Huso, or we're going to.
I think Huso just tweaked something.
I'm hoping that it's just a pull.
I don't think Huso's. Well, I wish Huso would have pulled himself after he did it instead of after the goal.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, that's the only thing that I wish. But when you think about it,
we still won't be able to bring up Hoffer.
On who we can bring up.
Right? I mean, if we send Perunovic down, we might be able to bring up Hoffer, but I mean, I don't know because Lindgren's here on that under 800,000,
Yeah.
and the next player we can bring up has to be under the 800,000.
Yeah, well,
So,
that we might be able to get some different relief. Well, I'll tell you what, if one of them is hurt to where it's not a day by day thing, you just put them on LTIR, right? But Wallman's not going to give you that much, and neither is Huso.
no, they're not because
Right.
they both make the minimum.
Yeah, they're both 700. Or Huso's a little over 800,000, I think.
No, Huso makes 750,000.
50. Yeah. Well, I mean,
He's right
so,
at the minimum.
he was trying to get the officials' attention. I seen that, but all he's got to do is take his helmet off. He takes it. I mean, they're told that if you're hurt, flip your helmet. You flip you take your mask off. You take your goalie mask, your goalie helmet, whatever you want to call it. Take that off, and the game stops. Right? That's an automatic whistle. Now it could be considered a delay of game penalty, but he was hurt, so I don't think it would be. Right?
No.
If he'd have just yanked his in front of the official, took it off. We beat them with 7 players out, and now possibly 9. Yeah, I mean, it was a good game. It was a way to play. We play against the Red Wings at home on Thursday. Hopefully their goalie isn't red hot again. The Red Wings are won 5 in a row. I don't know if they were playing today, but they might have played today, but they've won 5 in a row. They've been a hot team, right? We can't sleep on the Red Wings, Butch said, I'm taking the reins and playing this game.
They lost today to the Predators 5-2.
Okay, so, that opens up a little bit, but maybe they're going to be hungry. This was not a bad game. This was, you look at the first period, but that's not I'm sorry, the period of this game was the second, right? And if I'm the coaches, I'm going back and I'm looking at that second period, and I'm looking at the way those guys played. I'm looking at Vlad. I'm looking at Buchnevich. I'm looking at Barbashev. So Barbashev had a really costly mistake that could have cost us the game there at one point. I'm looking at all those things and saying, I'm looking at all those things and I'm going, okay, we might have some different line pairings here, right? Oh no, this was a good win. Right, and I would have taken it as an overtime loss, gotten 4 points. You got it to overtime. That was 4 points. You split the road. You split the trip. You split the home and homes. Right.
Yeah.
That would have been with all the stuff we had going on. A split would have been great. Right, but to take this win, right? You had an overtime win against Tampa. You lost in Tampa. You had an overtime loss, and you have an overtime win. That's showing that you can play with anybody,
Especially when you're down that many.
right?
It shows tenacity and it shows heart. So I'm really, really happy with this right now.
Yeah, no, Tommy's got a good point there. Tommy's got a good point there. Good things happen when you don't sit back in OT and play with assertion. Yeah, that was actually Buchnevich. That was all Buchnevich. I mean. He got that on a line change, and he just went down there, and he saw that Knight wasn't quick on the, I guess he saw that Knight wasn't quick on the, and he put it in a different gear and just threw that puck around, and that was the end of it. This was a game where as soon as they took it to a simple game, right, they won the game. All 3 goals were on the cycle.
Yep.
All 3 goals were on the cycle. The overtime goal, yeah, you don't cycle it in the overtime, but the 3 important goals were on the cycle. Once they got into their game, a very simple game, I'm thinking about it, bud. How many guys you got tonight? I don't know if I mean, I'm getting old staying up that late, How many guys you got?
Oh, don't chicken out, guy.
Yeah, I want to write too, so somewhere in between. I'm somewhere in between. No, what I meant to say is that you can't look. They played very well. You look at the first period and you go, they were outplayed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they were outplayed in the first. They didn't stay outplayed. They ended up scoring 2 goals in the second, and in that second, they really showed some tenacity, and they also showed that they could play with each other.
Mm-hmm.
That's something we haven't seen a lot of this season. Wimpy Knight forgot. They also seen that they could play with each other, and that's what I enjoyed. I enjoy watching, and I kept watching it, and when they scored that goal, it took a lot of when Florida scored the third goal, it took a lot of wind out of their sails.
It did.
It took a lot of wind out of their sails, but for the most part, this team was playing very tightly. They were playing for each other. They were playing with each other, and they played in a way that makes you think that they might have found something tonight.
Yeah.
All right. And I don't want to get too high off a win. I really don't. Right. And I said that after the Tampa overtime win. But this is a little bit different. This is showing you with all the guys that are down. And it didn't look like he either hurt his knee or because he was pointing down that way. He was feeling down around his quadricep there. So he might have just tweaked something. Hopefully it's not too bad. It didn't. He skated off on his own power. He was still able to play there. And that goal, I don't think he would have stopped it. So I'm all for what we saw tonight. And I think you're going to see this team start playing much better down the road.
I agree.
Look out for injury news tomorrow. Yeah, we'll be doing that for tomorrow's show. We'll be checking out what the injury reports are. I just want these guys to play good hockey, right?
Yeah.
Overcome. If you have adversity, great. Face it head on, right? Face it head on, and that's what the Blues did tonight. They had adversity. They faced it head on, and you know what? Might have just been a Charlie horse. It might have.
Yeah.
Right. No, we went 1 for 4 on the power play.
That third goal that we scored was like 2 seconds after the power
play. Yeah.
So that cycle we had during the power play is what caused
opened
that
it
goal.
up. Yeah, it did, but it doesn't count as a power play goal.
No, but that's why you can't always look at numbers.
Yeah, but the power play actually was really well tonight.
Yes, it was.
Right, the power and the penalty kill.
Oh, the penalty kill.
They didn't allow a shorthanded. They didn't allow a power play goal. So,
Ryan, they said on Twitter that Bozak can start skating on Friday and at earliest could play Saturday, but that's still unlikely.
Well, I don't know. He might be forced in. He might be forced in because he doesn't count on, the salary. He just goes right in.
Yeah.
I could see if he can skate Saturday because I'm sure he's doing things in the house, right, around if he's healthy, and that's the good thing. It's 10 days. If he's got his negative test and he can skate on Saturday or Friday, I can definitely see him Saturday. And Saturday is a home game.
Yeah,
if I remember right. Is it?
Yeah, well, we have the next 3 games are home.
3 games at home.
Mm-hmm. We are at the start of the 4-game home stretch.
Okay, so I just think you're going to see it. We saw a very, very strong game tonight from everybody, right? Face-offs, shots. We gave up 40 shots. We took 30. Face-offs were even, 50%. They were 0 for 5 on the power play. We were 1 for 5. Both teams 12 penalty minutes. We had 23 hits to their 12. We had 16 blocks to their 8. You want to know where our game needs to clean up? It's giveaways. 16 giveaways to their 3. You clean up giveaways and you win this game flat out, right? Because you're gonna be able to score, and not only that, the giveaways is what prevents you from cycling the puck. Shin had a point and was -2. Saad had a point and was even. Brown had a point, was even. Kyrou had 2 points but was -3. Yeah, I feel sorry for him. Barbashev had 2 points and was +2. Joshua had 0 across but had 2 giveaways. 3 hits. You know what? He had a couple of takeaways though.
Yeah.
I
I
know
thought
he had
that
some
Joshua and Brown both played very well tonight.
Yeah. Brown had 1 shot on goal, 1 giveaway. I don't like these stats, man. I'm starting to not like these stats. They got Sundqvist for 2 penalty minutes, 3 shots on goals. Bushnevich had a goal and assist for 2 points. He was +3. He had 5 shots on goal, 1 hit, and a giveaway. Tarasenko had a goal and assist for 2 points, was +1, 4 shots on goal, 1 hit, and a takeaway. I mean, 15 minutes on the ice, right? I mean, really, Tarasenko plays some of the least amount of minutes on it. Sundqvist was at 14, Joshua at 10, Brown was at 14:49. Other than that, everybody else played more than Tarasenko, right? But he outplayed most of those guys.
Yeah, he sure did.
Right, so
It's like he said, I'm not offensive enough, and he rammed it down the throat.
He's going to do what you tell him to do. You want him to play defensive, he's going to be a defensive player. You want him to play offense, he's going to play offense. But he's going to get in there and do, he's trying to do what the coaches want him to do. Mm-hmm. I think, I've been saying this for a while now. Langren for vice president, Bennington for president. I don't know about that. How did your fantasy team guy go? Oh, we don't want to talk about my fantasy team. Oh, my goodness. We do not want to talk about my fantasy team. I was wondering how soon it'd be before Perron is able to return. He's day to day, so it could be anytime. I don't know if he's skating yet. I think he is. I think he's back skating.
Yeah, he's skating. He's been skating for a little while. Not anything strenuous, but...
Someone said that Houston's injury looked like a groin injury. It's possible, but we're not going to know, and I don't want to speculate. So Lingren, my fantasy team can go in typical Russian. No, Tarasenko played tonight was a great Tarasenko game, and I think we'll see more out of that. So John Pinner, Tommy Emrich, Marianne Holm, Jess Horseman, Brad Pond, Matt Park, John Hefner, Jose Figueres, and 2 more that I can't see at the moment. Brandon White and Kyle Mead. Thank you so much for showing us all your love and support. And Tommy Embrick, I don't remember if I said his name. Thank you for that. We really appreciate it. I'll be looking at reports tomorrow. Yeah, you're not the only one, Chris. I will be too. We'll see what happens if Berube comes out with something. We'll see what they do for I'm pretty sure they'll have a practice tomorrow and a light skate on Thursday. They played good. They just played good tonight. Good point.
I agree. I mean, I know he took a penalty, but I just love seeing him take down 2 Panthers players. And I'm just like, little guy where? Little guy where?
He saw what was happening to Husso. Mm-hmm. Right? And that we need some more. Tarasenko. Yeah, I usually add an R in there, so I've been told that I add an R. I take Tarasenko. So, oh well. Hey, it was a well played game tonight. We all came into this game with this thought process that we can't beat this team, and that wasn't what these guys knew. These guys went in there, and I think their work on the power play shows it. Mm-hmm. On the power play tonight, the passes, the shots. John, you know the rule. You're in trouble. Time out, John.
Hey, we said that post games it don't matter. I just can't show it.
Okay. He looked like a little kid wrestling around on the floor.
But it was great.
Oh yeah, it was. It was. He on the play he got sent to the net. He played a solid game tonight. I think the adversity has raised this team, right? And that was what this team needed. This team needed a little adversity to pick them up.
I agree.
Right? And if that's what they're going to get, great. Let's keep playing like this. Let's get ourselves. Remember, Dallas and Colorado are right behind us, right? Mm-hmm. Right behind us. We have a 9-5-3 record when scoring on the power play, and we have the most games with the power play goal. And that's even more than Edmonton. Edmonton only has 16. And I think they played as many games as us. So, we got to keep the depth show tonight. Absolutely, Earl. Right? Absolutely it did. For me, right now, everything is just going to be a day by day. Right? At this point, it becomes day by day. Right? You take each game that's put in front of you and you play that game to your best of your ability. And if they play that game to their best of their ability, they're going to win. I'll put them up against. We just put them up against the number one team shorthanded. And they beat them in OT. And they actually were leading late. Right? Marianne says we can play any team. They just have talent hands down. We have to show it. Just have to put it out there every game. Yeah, absolutely. That wasn't the guys on the Blues though tonight. He might play against Montreal. I don't think it's all going to depend on where Husso is. I could see Lindgren playing. He used to play for Montreal, right? So playing him against Montreal, and that's Jake Allen coming back, right? That's Jake Allen coming back the first time since he was traded away. So that'll be very interesting. We'll like to see what happens with that. I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm first now you're going to see what kind of coach Berube is. Right? Because he's got to go back with his coaches, with Ott, with Van Ryan, with Montgomery, and look at that second period. And if they look at that second period, they're going to make some line changes. If Thomas's injury is something where he only needed to miss one game, bring him back. If Perron come back, bring him back. But but work those lines you were talking about.
Yeah.
Right? Thomas with Brown and Kyrou, or Brown and Joshua. That would be a good line.
It was Brown and Kyrou they mentioned.
Kyrou?
Thomas, Kyrou, and Brown. And I
I think Kyrou's going to still be on the top line for a while. I don't know.
Because they've been having Saad, O'Reilly, and
Kyrou.
No, it wasn't Kyrou. It was someone else today.
I seen Kyrou there. He also, at one point, Joshua and Brown played between O'Reilly.
Yeah, and
Right?
I thought that did really good too.
Yeah. So O'Reilly is rubbing off. Finally, yes. What's rub off mean? He's rubbing off on them, and that tenacity is showing. They just went out there and faced it. They could have easily given up. They could have gone into this game and said, we're going to lose. This is the best team in the league. We're going to lose. They didn't.
No, they didn't. They came out with heart. It was very impressive.
Right? Everybody had to give 100% every single shift tonight, and that really happened second period on. I'd say second period to the last 5 minutes of the third period. After they scored that goal, it kind of shifted a little bit. After they tied it up, it shifted, and they got frazzled a little bit. But for the most part, they played extremely well. They kept in it. I think when Lindgren came in, that threw him off. Here's Berube.
Get hurt on that third goal, or was it before?
It was before that, his lower body.
And did Wallman leave at the same time?
Yes, upper body.
You ever been involved in a game like this?
Well, what do you mean by that in a game like that?
Well, you ended with
Thomas.
about 11 players. You had a guy.
I mean, we were shorthanded, that's for sure. But guys battled. I'm proud of them. They worked and came through.
Yeah, Craig, what can you say? I mean, you're already playing a guy short. You've got 6 guys out of the lineup already. You lose 2 more tonight, and to come away with 2 points, what does that say about the perseverance?
Yeah, I think everybody, I know the first period wasn't like we wanted it, but they recovered, and thought guys did a great job in the second and third period. Our special teams are really good tonight. And that's a big part of it all. But the guys worked and competed and did all, they played the second and third period like, we want to play, on our toes, attacking and being competitive and doing a lot of good things.
Craig, were you trying to get Husso off before that? Saad made mention that.
Well, I did because I thought he looked injured, but he ended up staying in there. So I'll just talk to him about it.
Craig, how do you explain the first period?
Well, it's, we take 3 penalties. I mean, they come at you hard. They're going to put you on your heels. I think we just didn't handle it, the way we needed to handle it. We got to learn from it. That's all. I can't really.
Greg, it took you. Oh, sorry. Sorry about that. Did it take that first shift? It seemed like that shift right before the Tarasenko goal. You got some sustained zone time out of that. Did that just kind of get things going there a little bit?
Yeah, it did. But I thought, right from the start of it, the second period, well, we were more engaged in the game.
Do you say anything to Lindgren, or do you just say go in there?
Just go in there. I mean, there's nothing to say.
How about the play by Buchnevich to, have a good read on that and see that he's got a lane there to make a play?
On the overtime goal?
Yes.
Yeah. No, it was a great read by him. That wraparound. I mean, it's a good play. He's a smart player.
How do you think Lindgren handled his stint there?
He looked confident to me, coming out and playing pucks. I don't think it fazed him that much. He's a pretty confident guy, as far as I know, with his mannerisms and seeing him around, and stuff like that in practice. He's a very hard worker in practice. Very well liked guy in our hockey club. So he went in and did a good job.
Greg, when you have so many guys down like this, is it just do you need your veterans to step up in this situation and carry the load?
Well, they do. Yes, for sure. Leadership is a big thing. And I thought that our leaders did a great job tonight, playing, competing, keeping things together out there, talking, all of them.
Another game where you got a bunch of goals at the net.
That's where you score. You get looks.
Softball questions.
Clean looks.
Yeah, I know.
From distance, but it's not easy to score from distance. Goalies are too good. So it's about getting to the net, screening goalies, traffic, all that stuff.
How important was it to get goals from Tarasenko and Shen, 2 guys who've been struggling offensively?
Yeah,
lately?
very important. I think Vladdy, the real important goal for him. I thought he really played well in the second and third. And, it's nice to get Schenner get one at the net on the power play. That's where he's good and he scores his goals. So it was good to see him get one too.
Greg, I realize you wake up shorthanded, even more shorthanded tomorrow, but what can an effort like this do for you? I mean, do you expect to get a jolt out of the way you played tonight?
Well, they should be happy with themselves, but at the same time, you got to wake up tomorrow and it's a new day and you got to move on from it and get ready for Detroit. That's what you got to do. That's the most important thing here is, what we do next. So, we got to bring that effort that we had in the second and third and how we played the game with the intensity and the competitiveness. And you got to take that to the next game against Detroit. You can't just live off this game. It's great. They should be proud of themselves, how they competed out there and won a hockey game shorthanded like that. But at the same time, we got to move on from it. Okay. Thanks.
When do you start?
What's that?
When do you start thinking about what you're going to do with the roster tomorrow?
Right now.
And you wonder why I'm so upset that I'm not allowed in on these press conferences.
Yeah, some of those questions, I'm just scratching my head. Like, they could have come up with so much better. It's no wonder that Berube sounds annoyed at these because he's getting thrown the same questions.
Yeah, I don't agree. No, Tommy, you're going to get me going the wrong direction early, buddy. He is not even close.
He is a good coach.
Say again?
He is a good coach, but
He's
he is not the best coach in the league.
You know,
Just like for
I
Benny,
would have asked the first goal. You had Barbashev, O'Reilly, or no, Barbashev, Tereshchenko, and Bushnevich out there, and they really seemed to understand passing. Do you see playing them together more often? Right? Do you think that the second period will you take more? Or what are you going to take away from that second period in film study? What are you going to be looking at? Right? That's what I would be asking. Tommy, I just don't want to go there right now. If he was the best coach in the league, we'd have 3 cups because we have that much talent. Right? I'm telling you that we'd have 3 cups. Everyone is giving him a pass in the bubble, and everyone's giving him a pass for last season. Right? And I'm sorry, something happened in the bubble, and it's carried over, and we still see some of that the lingering, the rust bubbling up from under. Yeah, I'll agree with that. He could be a little underrated, but he's definitely not the best coach in the league, and that's what I think. Right, and that's the way I look at it. However, not trying to end on a negative, trying to keep it positive. Saw tonight a team. Hey, see, this is what he should have done at that press conference. This is what pisses me off. Right, this is one of the reasons that I don't like Berube so much. You just won a game that you should have come in and lost. Oh, it was just a game. They should feel okay about themselves, but we can't. No, you come in and you say, you know what? I'm proud of those guys. They played their hearts out tonight. They didn't let adversity get in their way, and they are the type of coach, or they are the type of team that I can't wait to coach tomorrow.
I mean, that would be an excellent comment if he was one of those player coaches, like the rah-rah coaches, but he's not.
Have to be a rah-rah coach.
And you can't live in a good game. You have to move on to the next, because if you let them live in this game, they're not going to be prepared for the Red Wings and we'll lose to them again. So you have to focus ahead and not live in the past. So I see his point.
No, I do, but I don't, okay? You have to celebrate the little victories. Otherwise, they become... if you don't celebrate the little victories, they don't matter. You get to the point where they don't matter, and you don't see the big one. You think the big one's never coming.
And who's to say that he's not celebrating the little victories in the locker room, but he's being flung these stupid amateur questions, so he's already annoyed. So he's just answering them in an annoyed tone. It doesn't mean that he's not going in the locker room saying, "Great job, guys."
Fair enough. And another good question. What do you take away from this game after the first period? What do you take away from this? Have you ever coached a game like this before? It was a open-ended question. Have you been in a situation like this where you've been down so many men? Right? That's how you ask that question.
Well, he's already answered that question prior to the game, that he's never experienced being down like this. So it's asking questions that have already been asked, and it's sloppy reporting to ask the same question over and over again.
Yeah, well, that's partially. I'll tell you what, a lot of that's the Blues PR department. Because if you ask questions they don't like, they take your pass away. Unless you're one of the big 4, you'll get your pass taken away. But I would love to see Jim Thomas, Tom Timmerman, Lou Coric, and Jeremy Rutherford stop throwing softball questions. That's a good point. That's a good point, Ryan. I'll give you credit for that. Actually, either one of those works. Open too much. He still doesn't want to show his hand, but at the same time, the team showed up and played amazing from the second to the end, but then they'll lose to Chicago. Well, and part of that is I think that's the way, if that's happening, That's on. I say that's more on coaching, not getting these guys to realize that teams are better. That the difference between the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Arizona Coyotes is this, not this, right? And too many of them go in there thinking that it's this, and it's this. And that's what the coach has to do. Coach has to remind them that the difference between the Tampa Bay Lightning or the Florida Panthers and the Arizona Coyotes is this. One player could change the Coyotes around. Mm-hmm. One player could change the Panthers around. Right? One injury, one trade, one call up. That's all it's going to take. And that's what a lot of guys don't get. Right? And I sent something. There was a thing on. I sent this to Gary Unger the other day. It was about on December 6th in the 70s. There was a game that there was a fight, and they asked Unger about it. And it was against Pittsburgh. In Pittsburgh, another like fans in the stand type thing, right? Them pulling over and punching a fan. And Unger's comment was, I'm a goal scorer, not a fighter. Well, I sent that. I thought it was a neat comment, so I sent it to him. Gary says, "Oh, that's great. I never read the papers when I played." He never read them. He said somebody just sent him a scrapbook with all this, with things that was you mentioned, and he said, "I never even knew about a lot of stuff about my career." So yeah, Kessel was that player for Arizona when he left Pittsburgh. Till the season started, then they stayed the same. Well, I see that, but it could still, you don't know. They could bring up a kid from the minors that, you have a diamond in the rough that you don't know. All of a sudden, he gets up here and bam, he's Connor McDavid. You just don't know, and you could have an injury that affects your team. Last year, do you know what affected the Blues more than anything else? Do you know why the Blues ended up in fourth last year?
I'm not sure I'm going to get what you're going with.
Sundqvist.
Yeah.
The Sundqvist injury, that one player, that one third, fourth line player, that one penalty killer upset the apple cart enough that it made one of the wheels not turn right. Right? It had broken spokes in it. It didn't turn right, and it upset the apple cart. And the team was never the same after he went out. That was a third line player. Right? It doesn't take much. You don't know how effective everybody is in they're all cogs in a machine. Mm-hmm. Right? They're all cogs in a machine, and you don't know what cog gets pulled out that the machine doesn't work right. And when he got pulled out, they couldn't find another cog to go in to fill that. Mm-hmm. Right? They never did. They never filled that spot. So we went downhill from that point. Now, we had some games where we won. We were never cohesive. We were never that, we weren't the team that we were when he was there. Well, now Perron, see, that was in the playoffs. I think that the playoffs, so Perron doesn't affect us being in fourth. We should have ended up coming in second or third in that division. Yeah. Right? We should have. We let different ones go. Taylor Hall was terrible in New Jersey. He went to Boston, and he's a great player again. It's who in the locker room that makes the difference. You can't expect the top player to change a franchise without some help. And that's a good point. That's a good point. But you just don't know what cogs do. What cogs come in and out, what cogs you can replace. You just don't know. Sometimes you use a replacement part. Mm-hmm. MacGyver. And it works good. Or you have to use two of one to do the same job as the one before. Mm-hmm. I doubled it up to give it a little more structure. But so that's what I'm kind of getting at. You don't know what each player's going to bring to the ice, and sometimes look at the numbers and we say, oh, this guy is this or that. You look at Sundqvist, and Sundqvist, numbers-wise, is not a great player. But on the ice, he brings tenacity. He brings grit. He brings things that we don't see that everybody else does.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And because his teammates see it when he's there, they feed off it.
Yeah.
And while he doesn't have the numbers, he's an important cog in this machine that is the St. Louis Blues.
I agree wholeheartedly.
Right? You know, he's not even a playmaker. Right? He's not even a playmaker. He's just gritty.
He's a difference maker because he can bring momentum.
Right? I like that. He is a difference maker. I enjoyed watching this game, even the first period, right? Because I came on. I don't know if you heard it or not, but I came on and I said, the first thing I said in the first intermission was, I call that weathering the storm.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that they came out with it only being a 1-0 game, that was definitely weathering the storm. I couldn't agree more.
For Jose there. So you think that Armstrong is shopping a Scandella and or Neal in order to free up some salary so that we can bring someone up? Do you think we need to make a move right now, or do we keep weathering the storm of losing players? We might be to the point, Jose, that's a good question. We might be in the point where we need to make a move, right? We might need to be in that point where if someone would take, well, Neal is still injured.
Yeah,
right?
he's
So
on
Neal,
LTR.
So if you trade Neal, he's still got to sit games. So you're not going to be able to do anything with Neal until like the 13th or 14th of December.
And you can't do anything with Scandella with this Wallman injury while we're still down Falks. So
yeah. So yeah, I mean, but you there's other things that you can look at. I just think that right now the Blues have the Blues have an opportunity to become a full solid team, even with guys out. This is a win that can do that. Now they go up against Detroit, who is playing very, very well. Right? Scandella played well tonight.
Oh, I saw a couple of things that made me curse at the TV and him, but he wasn't
but
as
so did
bad.
Barbashev, so did
Not
O'Reilly.
as much as Scandella, but
Barbashev turned the puck over right on our blue line with two Panthers there for a 2-on-1 against Lindgren.
Yeah, that could have been bad, but it wasn't.
Yeah, so you know that what we saw tonight was this team become a team. And you know what, Mary? Sometimes, and this is, I tell you guys a lot about this. Sometimes you have to look at the undercurrent. Yeah, I know that's a huge frustration. I've thought about that. I have thought about that heavily. That is a huge frustration. One of the things that I think you need to do when you watch these games, look at the undercurrent. Now, what I saw was a team that allowed Florida to play their game. Okay, Florida came out in the first and played their game. The Blues were not able to get anything together. They weren't able to, but they only gave up one goal. It wasn't 3-0. It wasn't 4-0. It was one goal on 20 shots. 95% save percentage. Okay? That's a 95% save percentage. You're going to win games with 95% save percentages. Right? I even said I thought they would tie it up. I thought it would be 1-1, but I didn't think it'd be 2-2. But I said I thought they would tie it up at the end of the first, right, for the second. What we saw tonight was them get out there, see what was coming at them, and then buckle down and remove what they did well, remove what the Panthers did well, and use it against them. So when you see, now if you'd have seen them come out in the second and done the same thing, yeah, then I'd be all with you. But watch the game for the undercurrent of the game. Do you want to go shopping again?
No, she's just wanting to be goofy.
Okay. Well, Goofy.
Goofy at bedtime.
Bedtime Goofy.
Hmm.
Right. Oh, I remember. Oh, you just made me think of a Robin Williams joke. And I can't tell it, but.
Darn.
Go watch Robin Williams live at the Met, and you'll figure out what Goofy is. Yeah. I'm sorry. I saw, and even when we came on, I was not on the Blues that much in the first, was I?
No.
Right? I saw something that told me they could do something. They could keep this game very tight, that this game was not going to get out of control.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And then the way Berube mixed lines, I'll give him that. He mixed lines very well tonight.
Yes.
Right? Lines were mixed well, and it kept the team moving. Because of that, that's why they won. They won because the lines were mixed, because no one got tired, but they did start to look tired towards the end of the third. I was worried about the OT, right? At least we jumped into second in the Central.
No, we're still third.
In points, but but we're even lower in. We're actually in the number one wild card spot in points percentage. Right, I'd have to double check it, but it's not pretty right now. With that, you got Dallas. If you're sleeping on Dallas, if you're looking at the standings and looking at the points and going, oh, look where Dallas and the Avalanche are. Look at how many games they played. They have 3 games in hand. 3 or 4. That's 6 or 8 points that they can get against you that you can't stop.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's what you need to see. Right? And I see what you're saying, Mary, but I think what I'm trying to get at is that sometimes it's okay to look like you can't play, to see what they've got. I don't think that's by point percentage, though, Ryan.
It's not by point percentage.
Huh?
It's not by point percentage.
Yeah, it's by points, not points percentage. And points percentage takes into account games in hand.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's why I always look at points percentage. I don't look at points. I look at points percentage. Right? And the league really should, until game 82, use points percentage, because that's exactly what they would do if the season stopped and not everybody played the same amount of games. Right? And they do it in every category. So, but we may have 30 points, but both Dallas and Colorado are right behind us, and they have games in hand, and those games in hand mean a lot.
Both Dallas and Colorado are at a .636, and we're at a flat 600.
Yeah, so we're in the top wild card spot, right? Minnesota, they're killing it right now. Minnesota is absolutely killing it. So we gotta be ready. We gotta keep playing good hockey. I get it now, Ryan. That's one of them. That's what I need to tell myself to sleep at night. I get it. I got you, bud. I am very happy for what we got, and that we won this game. It was a good win, and we'll go from there. Right? We'll have we'll have a lot to talk about tomorrow. We'll be able to talk about injuries and possible call-ups. We'll see what they can do. I know they can do a call-up tonight now because of the playing a man short. Detroit is Detroit. Let's see how we play. And then we got Montreal right behind them. Yep. And then we got the Ducks. And I think the Ducks is in Anaheim.
No, the Ducks is here.
Oh, no,
that's the game that the All Blues Everything wanted everybody to go to. They got discounted tickets.
Oh, okay.
I'm not going.
I don't pay attention to it. Well, because I'm not there anyways. Red Wings, so that's awesome. It is possible. Well, we're on a 5-game winning streak, so they're going to be trying to get that back. So we'll see. Tonight was I talk about litmus tests. I talk about trap games and things like that. Well, tonight became a trap game for the Florida Panthers, right? However, they had their full complement back tonight. And while you can look at them, and they made 40 shots. They did their numbers. The Blues were just a little bit better.
A little bit more accurate.
Huh?
A little bit more accurate when they needed to be.
Yep. And the thing that we have right now that we can use is we still got guys coming back, right? And I think that we can compete against the Avalanche and the Wild, but we got to keep playing the teams that put in front of us and play them hard every night. Yeah, back to back this weekend. I think it's an early Sunday game too, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm hoping not, but yeah, I think it is.
I'll have to look at the schedule here in a little bit. Well, Ashley, good show tonight. Good shows all day.
Yeah,
right?
It was fun.
Right, we're starting to get people staying with us and following us. And guys, I'm going to try and write. Oh, it's a 7:00 game. Okay, so
good.
Yep. I'm going to do what I can. I'm going to try and write some, or I'm going to go do the. Not sure if I'm going to write or comedy. We'll see. Maybe I can try and do both. We'll see how that works. I just want the Blues to play well, and I want to see. After the first period, we manufactured a trap game on Florida in our favor. ESPN had the game at 1:30 for the Panthers. Well, see, 1:30 is that tells me right there that they looked at it as a trap game, right? If they thought that the Panthers were that this wasn't a trap game, they would have had that game somewhere around 200, 220, and having it at minus 130 tells me they thought it was a trap game, right? Because that means you have to bet 100. You have to bet 130 to win 100. So if you bet 130, you would win 230.
I'm showing that the game on Saturday's at 6, Marianne.
She's on the East Coast.
Yeah, both games start at 6.
So it's at 7 for her, so a little hour earlier. So that's why she said 7. She's on the East Coast. She's in Florida. Well, guys, I had a great time tonight. I think me and Ashley are getting much better. You guys we're getting more people. The one thing that I'd like to see more people commenting. I don't mind the comments. We try and get them all. We miss some sometimes. There are some that skip. There's some that I don't talk about, and if I don't, okay, no problem. Oh, you're in North Carolina now. Okay, I thought you were still in Florida. But it doesn't. We still want your comments. Your opinion is just as important as ours.
Exactly.
Right, and I've said that before, and I absolutely mean it. So, guys, have a great evening. Ashley, great show tonight. Thank you so much. We're going to enjoy the rest of the game, and we're going to enjoy the rest of our night. You guys have fun. This is Guy, the Hawaii Blues fan, Benson, for Ashley Slapshot Jones. And all of you, we say...
Crickets.
What are you wearing?
A Canadian tuxedo. And I'm a hockey player. Let's go Blues.
Let's go Blues.
Let's go Blues. Hawaii Blues fan, we're bleeding blue with you. Let's go Blues. Let's go Blues. Let's go Blues.
Aloha, mahalo. We're bleeding blue with you, and we'll see you on the next BlueNote Fan Report. Aloha.